Welcome to the jungle. It's been a while since we did a tour of the greenhouse. Now, this is the nursery. Not looking so hot, but that's not really what I'm here for. The really important stuff has already come out of the nursery, and we are still deciding what we're going to do with some of this. But onwards to the rest. First, we have watermelons. Now, this is a total experiment on our part. We've never grown watermelons in a greenhouse before. And we don't have any clue whether it will work or not. So far, I've been seeing a lot of flowers, but they're all male. I have started to watch more carefully to see if there's any females, but I don't know. I haven't seen any yet. Not that have bloomed. There seem to be a few forming, so we'll just wait. This guy is a pumpkin, and he needs a drink of water. He's getting thirsty now. He's got very big leaves, so he gets thirsty at this time of day. And we do have some females on this. Let me see if I can see him down there. I should say her. Anyway, there was a female flower that bloomed early this morning. There was another one that bloomed a few days ago, and that one I actually hand pollinated because we've been getting a bunch of male flowers. All these guys with the long stems are male flowers, but we're not getting any female flowers in close to them, and I just don't want to count on whether there's enough bugs running around here to pollinate. Now, this is one of our Jade Cucumber trees. I'm going to call it a tree because everything is strung up. So there's actually 4 plants in this bucket. This is a wicking toad self-watering planter, and it also has a cabbage because I ran out of space other places and I stuck a cabbage there. The cabbage has a lot of holes in it because a few weeks ago we had an attack of inchworms, because this greenhouse does have bugs that go in and out, and we're not screened. We may fix that for next year. Plenty of cucumbers growing in here. Picked 2 yesterday that were bigger than that. And here's another wicking toad. This has 3 Jade Cucumber plants in it that have been strung up. And you can see they also have plenty of various sized babies on them. We've got a couple of big ones that'll be ready in the next couple of days. The nice thing is these guys can stay for quite a while, so if I'm not ready for a cucumber, I can let it stay. It won't get seedy or funky. This is the remainder of our Salanova lettuce in the regular wicking toad. We had a salad the other day again. We've been having a few bug problems again, so I've just sprayed the other day. Anything that's sprayed in here is organic, and we follow the rules fastidiously, and everything's always washed before we eat it anyway. But I have had a couple of little sections. There's actually more than one plant over in this section here, and one of them is gone bitter. I need to figure out which one it is, because the last time I had a salad, there was like 1 or 2 bites that were like, whoa, too bitter. These are our pepper plants, and we have Antohi right there. He's an Eastern European frying pepper. And this is California Wonder. These were not supposed to have been planted in here. We ran out of room in the garden, then we had hailstorms, then we had all kinds of things going on, and we said, we're going to throw them in here and see if we can at least get a little bit of fruit off of them. It doesn't make sense to try and stick them out in the garden right now. And here we can, even though we're dealing with extreme heat, we can still control things better. This is our pak choi. I just harvested that empty space there the other day. We finished him for dinner. And I have obviously, we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more plants in there. So I'll be harvesting probably the one, either that one or that one, to make more space pretty quickly. Normally I like to use them in soups, but to be honest, it's been too hot for soup lately. We have also had a few bug problems in here with inchworms, which is why there's a few holes. And I was trying to decide if this was new this morning or not. If it is new, then I have somebody else to look for, and I have not been able to find any sign that there's anybody in there munching. But I do see a moth that has to go. All right. There we go. Pick up the trash. Okay. These are the tomatoes. And Henry should be out in just a minute. He's going to tell you the story of the tomatoes. Now, I just harvested the first big beef off of here this morning. Look at the size of those boogers. They're amazing. We do have some blight on these, but they're doing okay. And they're growing fast enough that I'm able to trim off the worst of the blight. I usually trim them once a week, and they're growing about 12 to 18 inches a week right now. I'm waiting. I've got, as you can see, there's a ton of fruit in here right now that's almost ready. I harvested probably, I got one of the big beef this morning and a couple of the Gardener's Delight, and which have just been producing like crazy. And then I got a couple of the Paisanos, which are these guys here, the paste tomatoes. But I've got a ton more that'll be ready within the next week, and I'm busy freezing them right now to hold because I'll make another big batch of sauce. This is our deep water bed for lettuce and pak choi. Doing much better. It's time for me to shift the shade here again. I need to do a better shade, but right now this is working well enough. It's the best way to put it. Working well enough. Very unscientific. I had to raise it up an extra few inches because it was not giving enough clearance. But I'm keeping them mostly out of direct sun right now. They're doing better. I had to, Henry felt that the water was getting too warm in there, so there's now a piece of insulation board, and that insulation board has silver reflective stuff on one side of it. And that seems to be helping with the temperature. Ah, there's the man right there.
Hydroponic nutrients aren't just simple nutrients. They're all made with various kinds of salts. Now, our water here comes from several different wells, or could come from several different wells. There's a well about 2.5 miles from our place here, and that's one of the places where I've been hauling water from. There's 2 more wells in town that have different mineral profiles. When I bought the pH down from our local hydroponics store, I assumed naturally that it was formulated for the water that we were getting. Well, it wasn't. The problem was it was just straight phosphoric acid, and without going into a whole lot of gruesome details, the problem with just phosphoric acid is it doesn't buffer the system at all, which means that the acid, the pH, will change dramatically over the course of a day. I've used some product now that CB from CB's Greenhouse recommended, which is from General Hydroponics. Now, I've researched this product for a while before I decided to go ahead and buy it. They use a different blend of acids. They use a variety of acids that provide additional buffering. And the importance of buffering is that it doesn't allow as much of the acid to come out of the water. So now, instead of just using the phosphoric acid from the original pH down, I use the General Hydroponics pH down, which works better. It's not perfect. It doesn't absolutely control the pH all the time, but it does one important thing, if nothing else. It reduces the amount of phosphor that goes into the nutrient solution. If you think about it, if I have to add 20 or 30 milliliters of acid every single day, just to keep the pH in a reasonable range, that means I'm putting that amount of phosphoric acid, so phosphorus, in the water every single day. You can poison your plants with too much of any particular nutrient. We don't want to poison any of our plants here. We work too hard to get things under control so that they're actually producing. Well, there you have it. Another day of dealing with the greenhouse first thing in the morning. I got the acid adjusted in...
Sorry, the sweat's rolling into my eyes.
Anyway, I got the acid adjusted in the Dutch bucket system and the deep water culture. The water temperature is up around 83 or 84 degrees now, which is warmer than I'd like. But it's been in the low hundreds for the past, I guess now going on 6 days. So, we hope this was of some interest to you, that you found some of it at least entertaining. Thanks very much for watching. We'll talk with you later.
Bye.